Yes, hi.
They have a saying nti abo bazaalibwa bwe batyo kale they were born like that to be rich, so it's okay if they are rich. If they are down, they can already.
For them, they were born into the riches. They were born with the silver spoons, They were born into them. As in, what exactly are they doing? Discouraging you from working too hard towards that? Discouraging you from putting in the energy? Because when someone says they were born like that, then it means that even if you put in too much effort, there is nothing. You're not going to amount to anything. But that is a lie. And get it from me, from 0 to. So it's very, very, very possible. And I'm glad you actually mentioned it, okay?
In most cases, you've talked about people that have this such kind of, How do you handle some people? Should you let them flourish? When should you handle them? When should you tackle them? Basically, how should you make them also keep quiet? Sometimes when you make them keep quiet, it becomes another ugly way for you to or across your way. So basically, what's your advice on that? And when should you do that?
And when should you do that? I hate seeing people suffering. I hate seeing, as in we are human beings, God created in God's image for his glory. To thrive, to flourish, to grow, to be happy. That is what we expect out of life. Now, if you get another human being that comes with the intention of just to rob you of your happiness. Just imagine you are on your merry way. You are a single girl or a single guy, and you are having fun. You have your friends, you go to work, you come back. All of a sudden, you seek to get into a relationship, and boom, the devil just brings that person, and you cross paths. And all of a sudden, because narcissism does not write itself on their foreheads, or toxicity, for you think it's a normal person, because most of the times they will be actually more humble and more understanding in the beginning. They will even love you more than normal people. No, because they have to hook you in. They have to give you a bait, like a fish, so that when you eat it, now you are hooked. The reason as to why so many people, it's so hard for people to walk away from narcissism and toxicity is because now they have come close. They have understood that this person is not who they thought they are, but again, they fear the status quo. What will people say? I told them I'm happy. I put it all over social media. And now I have to eat my own words. Let me tell you, eat your own words. If you have to eat them, if you have to drink them, drink them. If you have to drink them like soup, drink them, however bitter it sounds. Because when you say that you need to shut them up, there is no day, no single day you will ever shut up a narcissist or a toxic person. Because their words are sharp, they are like thorns and they are like spears. And they don't have to mention too many words. They just have to say one word. And it is enough. You will drink water. You will even sleep on it. And it will never clear from your head. Why? Because their target is to disarm you and make sure that you are totally nothing, broken down to nothing. You no longer believe in yourself. You no longer believe in your dreams. You no longer believe in anything. So that you can only be subdued to serving them and serving their ambitions and what they want. So there is no day you're going to tell a narcissist, keep quiet, don't tell me that. How dare you? Who are you? Actually, Tim says it better. He usually says that how you handle a narcissist, you do the direct opposite of what they want you to do. Because half the time, they want you to be, please, please, please. They want you to, to be okay with what they are doing. And then they want you to leave everything that they want you to leave. Leave that friend. That friend is bad for you. And then that man is going to, to take you. And then, you should leave that job. And then, because they don't, number one, a narcissist never wants you to have money, whether they are a woman or a man, because they cannot dominate over a person that feels they are strong. So they want to make you as weak as possible. So making you as weak as possible is not by beating you, it's by words. like psychological torture, and it's the worst torture. It's better for someone to get a stick and beat you than for someone to just abuse you and insult you and psychologically torture you. So how you deal with a narcissist is by not dealing with them. Am I clear? How you deal with a narcissist is by not dealing. How you play with a narcissist is by not playing. How you quarrel with a narcissist is by not. And how to relate with a narcissist is by not. Did that answer you? Let me tell you, you will turn those those thorns in your mouth for as long as you're still strong. You'll be like, no, I will work hard. I will go. You can even come here for encouragement and motivation every single week. And you will go out of here and think maybe things are a bit better. Go back, be beaten for the whole week. Words, insults, being stripped down, and then come back. And then you keep going because you believe in God. You fast, you pray, you do all those things. But a time comes when you are 50 years old. And the bad thing is we wake up when we are late. A time comes when you are 50 years old. You look back at the trail of all the abuse in the past 30 or 20 years, and you get angry at yourself and say, where was I for the past 20 years when this was happening? And because we have that constant hope of things will change, then 5 years, then 10 years, then 30 years, people have gotten out of marriages at 50 years and 60 years. And I have looked at them in the eyes and asked them, didn't you see this? And they will tell me, before I even said I do on the altar, I knew that I was making a mistake. But I thought he would change. But I thought she would change. But 20 years, I have wrinkles on my face, and I can no longer stand the abuse. I am past that age where I have to say yes, yes, because now I know better than what I knew when I was young. I am willing to start all over again at zero. At 50 years, just imagine, a woman leaves a marriage at 50 years and at 60 without a single coin and without even a house. And they decide to start on zero. Why? Because they waited for change and the change never came. Sometimes we have to be wise enough and be critical and open our eyes. Do not close your eyes. Do not have blinded beliefs. When you see something going wrong, instead of saying, this is a cup, it's not a jug, say it's a jug. Instead of saying that this is a big spoon, call it a spade. When someone is toxic, call them toxic. Do not label them anything else. They are work in progress. They are God's people. They will get better. All those labels are the ones that have given us hope to stay in Kwara Kwara for the longest time. And remember, I told you, you do not get what you deserve. You get what you decide. The day you wake up and say, you know what, enough is enough, and you do the opposite of what you have been doing, to get different, you must do different. If you've not taken anything from today, take that. To be different and to get different, you must do different. So you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again, getting the same results, then you're the one that has a problem. We have to check your head. A normal human being, you must get to a point and say, okay, I didn't see this coming, but now it has come. My eyes are opening, and I am calling it what it is. I am not sweet-talking it. I am not pushing it under the carpet. I am addressing it the way it is. And if I need to pray about it, I will pray about it. But certain things are not to be prayed about. Certain things God needs you to be wise and make a decision. Okay? So I was saying all that to show you that it's very critical that you make your own decision. You cannot shut them up. They will keep saying the only thing you can put in between them and you is the distance and walk away. And even when you put the distance, they will send the flying monkeys. When the flying monkeys come, put them in their position. You know their position? You do not give them any information. Because the flying monkeys are like flies. They come, say, and then they pick and take. They go and bring, and then they pick and take. Have you seen people who are not disciplined in their lives? They're like the self-appointed personal messengers in the world. So what you do is you cut off the information. When they come to you, tell them whatever he told you is the truth. So when they go back, and let me tell you, that is medicine. When they go back, they will start looking at them in a skeptical way. They'll be like, by the time that woman is not speaking, because silence is also a part, it speaks loud.
Coach, I want to talk more about parents.
Yes, please.
Because there are some things that we are living now which is coming from our parents.
Yes.
Because you raise a child telling them that you are stupid every time. They keep it in their head until they grow, and all they are passing through is that parenting which did not go very well.
Psychological abuse is psychological abuse. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. And let me tell you, it runs deeper when you are dealing with a child. Because children are like blank spaces and blank chapters. They are beginning to write the stories of their lives. Now, on that blank canvas, if you are the one that is going to bring all your, my daughter calls them manyanga manyanga, if you're going to bring all your manyanga manyanga, as in all your torture, all your, lack of manners, all your insults, and hurl them at this young brain, all he's thinking is maybe he's not going to sit down and think, why did I come to this earth? Maybe they are not going to think that, but their hearts are going to be downcast. They're going to live in perpetual fear. They're going to be very calculative of what they do. And you have seen, because who we are during adulthood was created when we were young. So I want you to look at your traits. There are so many things that we are currently doing because we got them when we were children. Like living in perpetual fear and walking on eggshells. And even when there are people who have even good spouses, but anytime they expect danger is going to happen because they grew up in a home that was very unpredictable. There was a lot of turmoil. It was volatile. They didn't know what was coming next. Do you remember the story of the spies that we talked about when we were beginning, about the things that we have to cut? When these people said, when their hearts were struck down, they said, we are like grasshoppers before those giants. Some of us have not been able to do certain things because we look at ourselves as grasshoppers. You get into a company and you feel you are the smallest person. You feel you are the most useless person. You go into a competition and you feel you are the last, the least, and the most, forgotten person. And let me tell you, just like we say, these things manifest and they attract. When you go with an attitude of, I am the smallest in this company, everyone treats you like a grasshopper. They will bypass you. They will use your cup anyhow. They will even not greet you. Why? Because that is who you see yourself like. Yeah, because who you are attracts. So when you see yourself as a person who does not deserve a good life, you attract the same kinds of people. So as parents, the calling upon our lives is to nurture a generation that is going to thrive, a generation that is going to flourish. And that generation begins with us encouraging them, begins with us loving them, begins with us sowing in them seeds of confidence, seeds of greatness, knowing their God, knowing what they want and who they are in this world. People know that someone cares about me. And how do you communicate that? Most of the times with children, it's not the words that you speak, it's your actions. Can you give them the attention? Can you affirm them? Can you speak into their small lives, even the words that you think they don't understand? Whenever I'm speaking to my son, I tell him words that are even above him. But I will tell him, I love you. Do you know that I really love you? Do you know that I cherish you? And half the time, he will look at me very sheepishly and very shy, and he'll be like, yes. And actually, he doesn't say yes. He says, Sha? and I'm like, I know he understands. Deep inside, he understands. And when I tell him that I miss you, because he's a 3-year-old, when you tell a 3-year-old that you miss them, half the time they don't understand that the words that you miss them, but in their spirit, they know that while mommy was away, they actually felt my absence. And so they cherish even the freedom with which sometimes when I do those things repeatedly, even the way he behaves around me is different. Like he will come and step on me, he will come and sit whichever angle he wants, and I will see that I have created an environment where he's totally free to be himself. When I bring Chiboko out, then he will quickly run from my body and he will go and sit somewhere in a corner and peep me from the side. Like by the time you're punishing my sister, my elder sister, that means you're coming to me next. So I better stay out of your way. So they understand the best actions that your children will emulate and forever take with in their hearts is the relationship that you have between you and their mother or you and their father. The relationship that the two parents have. It means a lot more. That relationship is healing. That relationship is liberating. That relationship creates an environment of freedom. That relationship creates a sense of belonging, of I am home. You know when a child comes home and they know I am home? And they know I'm in a place where I'm accepted. I'm in a place where I can be corrected. I'm in a place where I can be corrected, but in love. I'm in a place where I see my mother holding hands with my father. I'm in a place where I see my mother praying with my father. I'm in a place where I see them smiling with each other, them talking to hours and hours, and I am at peace. It creates peace. I have grown up, or I grew up in a home where I didn't see that. And I didn't know that that existed until my own home, that I saw you can have an environment of love that is saturated with love, that whoever comes within your vicinity can witness and testify to the love that they are witnessing. That you don't have to tell anyone that we love each other. No. The way you treat each other, the way you speak to each other, the way you hold each other shows them that you love each other. So now Ariella started saying, I am daddy's honey. As in, by the time a child, clearly they have seen that there is something different. So they said, me, I also don't want to be Ariella. I don't want to be daddy's girl. I want to be daddy's honey. Because she knows daddy's honey is important. So these children understand, and we don't have to wait until they are mature. Let's do these things while they are young. And even if you're a single mother and you're here, you can behave in love, and you can ground your children in love. Okay? Even if you're a single father and you're here, you can ground your children in love. And even when you get to a point of remarrying, make sure that you are so careful about who you bring into your life. We cannot go past this. There's a lot more that we could have talked about. There's a lot more. But remember, you've got to know when to cut things out. You've got to know when to cut things out. And for those of you that have been online and viewing us on YouTube and all social media platforms, we love you, we cherish you, and we are glad that true to our statement, we are not leaving anyone behind. And even when it comes to those questions, make sure that you throw them at us. We will make sure that we respond to those questions. For those of you on Spirit TV, we love you, we cherish you, and we are glad to tell you that this is a place for you, and there is no any other place you're going to be to get the kind of productivity and the kind of results and the kind of holding of your hand and walking with you until you get to a place and say that, you know what, thus far the Lord has brought me, Ebenezer, we have gotten to this far. And I know that we are going further than we ever imagined. So we love you and we care about you. Stay blessed, stay humble, and stay motivated.